Hello again, YouTube, and welcome back to What Fresh Hell. I'm Jenna of Arc, and I thought for this second video, which I hope will be better than the first one, what I really wanted to delve into because it's the basis of a lot of the things that I believe and the way I think, and that's been a big question here over the last few years that seems to have motivated a lot of our politics. And that's the question of who belongs. We're in a current political moment where uh, we want to divide everybody up into little categories and define some as bad and some as people that we don't want. Uh, Specifically, if you look at what's been going on with ICE and with the deportations and with the really war on immigrants, and with all of the anti-trans stuff, it really all boils down to, and I think if you look back through history, a lot of this kind of political stuff and wars and other things of that nature, they always come down to who belongs. And so I want to tell you where I come from on that. It occurs to me that as humans, we all have a few things in common. We know that we all are born and we all have to die. Um, but another thing that we all have in common, none of us asked to be here, right? No one worked harder to land on this earth than anyone else. We had no say in it. It was all down to the actions of other people. Now, if you're a religious person, you might think that you're here because God decreed that you, as the individual, should be born onto this earth. That gives you really even less of a reason to try to define other people as not being worthy of being here, of belonging. Because if you're of the belief that God controls all of that, then you're going against God. I mean, how else can you look at it? If He's the one that chose He was going to be here, and you want to define some people as not being worthy of being here, you're going against God. If you're not somebody that has a religious viewpoint on it, um, you're standing by some kind of a belief that, well, my culture is superior, whatever. You can believe that, but that still doesn't get you away from the fact that you did no more work to get here than did anybody else who may have a different religion, a different set of beliefs, a different culture. Um, and so that's really kind of the very basis of what everything I believe rests on, is that um, we're all accidents. And you can look at this and really be in awe and have a sense of wonder about it. Because if you think about it, you as an individual, you're only here because that man and that woman had a child together, and it was that egg cell and that sperm cell that only existed in the same space for a moment in time. 10 minutes later, you're not here. A day later, you're not here. Um, so it's really kind of a cosmic accident if you're not coming from the God willed it perspective that you got here, but so is everybody else. Everybody else is kind of like a cosmic miracle too. And so I believe that because we all got here through no desire or effort of our own, that we all have an equal right to be here, and we all have an equal right to the things that are needed to sustain life: food, housing, medical care. We can extend that to education, because to be a fully realized person, you need some of that too. So this whole thing about we need to get this group of people out of our country, we need to persecute that group because we don't understand where they're coming from. It's all made up in your head. It's all made up in your head. Every person on this earth who's here has as much right to be here as you do, and every bit as much right to have the food and the shelter and the medical care and the things that they need to live a decent life. So, that being said, I'm going to call it quits for today. I like to always point you in the direction of another channel that I like. There's a guy who does renovation in France whose name is Diego Leon. That's Diego Leon. And I used to work as a construction project manager. And so I really, really love watching this guy work because he's a true craftsman. He knows how to do everything and he does it right. And any of you who have ever been in the construction business know how rare that is, that you have workers who know how to do everything. But even more than that, workers that do everything right. So it was a real pleasure watching him. He just got through renovating a little house in a village in France. And that whole series of videos I found uh, really interesting and really enjoyed watching because, again, he's somebody who believes in what he's doing and he makes an effort to do it right. So if that's the kind of thing you're into, I'd recommend popping over to his channel, taking a look at that. That's all I've got for today. When I come back next time, we're going to get more into the flaws in our thinking. As for what I've said today, if it's something that you don't agree with, that's okay because we don't always all agree on everything, but you need to really have a counter argument to that. I mean, if you can come into the comments and show me that you deserve to be here more because you put a lot more effort into getting here, I'm all ears. But that's what you have to stick to. You can't, you know, well, you could, but it would be dishonest to twist what I've said, which is that we're all here through the will of others, not through our own, because we didn't have anything to do with it. So, if you don't agree with that, I'll entertain your alternate theory, but you need to spell it out on those grounds. And so I'll see you next time, and we will get more into some of the problems that we run into with um, critical thinking and some of the biases that can lead us astray. Thanks so much. If you please like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Thanks.